In my last video, we explored some of the most insane Rovers ever made, from respectable hot rods to twin turbo Rover SD1s, with only a handful of each known to exist, or in some cases them being completely forgotten to time. There has, however, been a development in this story that will hopefully shed light on a forgotten legend. This car was so powerful it snapped at the heels of supercars of the time and even led its own creator to nearly being sued out of production by Aston Martin Tickford allegedly. In this video we will be covering the Loch Ness Monster, the Bigfoot of Rover SD1s, the KAT SD1 Twin Turbo. There has been some very interesting developments which you're going to want to stay tuned for, but remember to subscribe for more of this, like the video and drop a comment below. Have I missed anything out? Do you know anything? Are there any other cars you'd like me to cover? And what are your memories of the Rover SD1? In my next video, I hope that I'll be covering some really mysterious and legendary P6s. So without further delay, let's get into the video. It's best that I provide a bit of context and development history, as well as why BL rejected Simon's proposal in the first place. The KAT SD1 is an anomaly, designed by Simon Saunders and his team at KAT Designs, and rejected by BL. As a proposal for a high-performance derivative of the Rover SD1. The KAT SD1 was rejected due to the fact that at the time, BL were developing their own high-performance derivative of the Rover SD1, dubbed the VHPD prototype, with VHPD standing for Very High Performance Derivative. This car would be badged as the Rover Rapide in both its SD1 Series 1 form and its later Series 2 prototype, which later became the Rover SD1 Vitesse. The original Rover Rapide had a power target of 200 brake horsepower, which was 100 brake horsepower less than the KAT SD1. The Rover Rapide did also have other refinements, such as suspension upgrades, an LSD, and some styling changes, which were, of course, far more conservative than Simon's KAT SD1's extreme styling. The simple changes included a chin spoiler that was very similar to the one later used on the Series 2 SD1s, and a small spoiler at the back of the car, as well as some paint changes such as a red pinstripe. All of these improvements to the SD1 Rapide, as well as the collaboration with David Price Racing and internal testing and development by BL and later Austin Rover, eventually led to the Rover SD1 Twin Plenum Vitesse towards the end of the SD1's production run, a homologation special producing 190 brake horsepower. The KAT SD1 was too extreme for BL's production plans at the time, even before it left the drawing board, which of course led Simon Saunders and his team to develop the car further in-house with some industry partners. Before the KAT SD1 could leave the drawing board, however, it was time to do a proof of concept with an Escort XR3i. This car was donated by Peter Philby of Alternative Cars magazine, who had been in talks with Simon Saunders and the design studio at KAT Designs and saw real potential in the young designer and his team. Therefore, he donated his own personal XR3i Escort for conversion. The KAT Escort formed some of the basic design methodology that Simon used for the KAT SD1, prototyping the body kits and the styling, as well as the easy to remove body kit, allowing the car to go back to standard if the owner requested. People were so impressed by the KAT Escort XR3i, it made several magazine appearances and later appeared on the GTS stand at a motor fair of that year. All eyes were on the KAT Escort within the body kit scene. However, Simon wanted a little bit more. He wanted to bring his styling with a bit of oomph, with a bit of power behind it. And he also wanted to do a British car, which of course led him to the Rover SD1. Peter Philby was also impressed, and he provided the prototype car for the KAT SD1, essentially making Peter the first KAT SD1 owner, with the car's registration believed to be A28HAD. Simon and his team then set to work. The KAT SD1's body kit was designed in-house by Simon and his team, the young designer channeling some of his previous experience and style from his work at Vauxhall and Aston Martin Tickford. The body kit had real attention to detail, even in the practicality department, focusing on being usable with access to the jacking points, and some thought was even paid to make sure the car's body kit wasn't a rust trap. The other major improvement was the fitting and finish. Simon made sure there was no modification needed to the car itself, so no filler needed to smooth out the lines of the bumpers. One of the main criticisms by BL of the KAT SD1 and the body kit was it was all style and no substance. However, Simon paid particular attention to the aerodynamics of the kit, but with the lack of budget, he couldn't prove this to the BL team. The SD1 KAT also received one of the other bespoke options that could be chosen, such as the interior trim, which included a complete redesign of the dashboard by the KAT design team. Simon and his team wanted more from the KAT SD1 to make the performance live up to the styling, and with a collaboration with Turbo Technics, these guys took the V8 engine, attached an intercooler, twin turbochargers and all the supporting modification, including using the 2 fog light fittings as air intakes to take the KAT SD1 into supercar territory, with a supposed power output of 300 brake horsepower and a 0 to 60 time of 6 seconds. There was a catch, however, for prospective owners. KAT Designs only offered the engine modifications if the customer purchased the prerequisite modifications of Coney suspension, 4-pot calipers, an uprated clutch and transmission, making this the full package. So you needed all of those modifications before they'd even consider making the engine upgrades. Being a bespoke car, the KAT SD1 was an expensive proposition. The body kit alone cost £1,095. That wasn't even including fitting, with interior trim work, leather door cards, side panels and nearly every spec of the Rover SD1 soft plastic being covered in leather trim, Wilton carpeting and a new headlining, running you at £2,495. The performance package, however, was the big one. With Simon being concerned about the image of the car and the professional image of KAT Designs, the engine modifications were only offered if the customers purchased the full package, including all the prerequisite upgrades such as suspension, gearbox and brakes, which in total costs £2,900. Once the specifications of the KAT SD1 had been finalised, the car was then built. It was then tested on an undisclosed testing ground with a top speed of more than 150 miles an hour, with the body kit providing considerable downforce, making it a true conversion job and refuting BL's rhetoric that it was all style with no substance. Simon and his team had truly done it. They'd made their own bespoke British car. The car created by Simon and his team, A28HAD, then went on the magazine PR circuit, and it did stir up quite a lot of interest. However, it didn't have the uptake that Simon wanted, and it was mainly the body kits that became the bread and butter of KAT Designs. The KAT SD1 then simply vanished, with no mention of A28HAD after that year. The only mention I can seem to find is of the body kits, which of course, as mentioned before, had a higher uptake than the full modifications, with A28HAD believed to be the only fully fledged KAT SD1 ever made, the 3500 SE donated to Simon Saunders for the prototype. There are several reasons why this could be, all quite mysterious and all unverified. Simply there wasn't enough uptake of the car, or a rumour that I've heard from some industry insiders and have spoke to a few other people about who were around at that time. Aston Martin Tickford apparently tried to take KAT Designs to court over the KAT SD1 and the KAT MG Metro, which appeared on the scene around the same time. This, however, is unverified, so I can't say these claims are real, and nobody knows other than Simon or anybody that was directly involved with the KAT SD1. Simon and his team at KAT Designs later went on to produce the KAT MPV, a kit car which is equally mysterious. Simon then went on to form Ariel, which produces one of the most famous driver-oriented cars ever made, the Atom. Simon is still the CEO of Ariel today. You may now be asking, why the follow-up to the last video? I said I couldn't verify if these cars still existed. I even featured a car that went up for auction in 2018. As it turns out, the mystery of the KAT SD1 has been out in the open this whole time, with the car being pictured being the only believed fully converted KAT SD1, A28HAD. This was the car featured in the magazines and the brochures. It was the 3500 SE donated to Simon Saunders for the prototype, which went on to become the fully fledged legend, the KAT SD1. A28HAD then went off the radar. It was then stored with its engine being removed along with the Turbo Technics kit. The car was then fitted with a standard 3.5 litre Rover V8 and then sold on. After this, the car ended up at auction, simply listed as a 3500 SE with no attention paid to its extremely valuable history. This was then purchased for 1,800 quid by its current owner. The car was then put back on the road and attended the NEC. After this, the car has now been stored awaiting a full restoration. And after speaking with the owner, it's due to go in mid next year to be fully restored. I've asked if we can bring you updates on this wonderful one-off car, and the owner has agreed, so stay tuned for that. The KAT SD1 is a mysterious beast, and I hope this video has helped demystify it the best I can. There is only believed to be one car ever made, but if you have any evidence to refute these claims, please let me know, because I'd love to document this and demystify any of these Rover SD1s or any of these wonderful British cars even more. The car, thankfully, is being stored and looked after by its current car collector owner. These are the videos that I really enjoy making, demystifying the mysterious. I'm really hoping that this has brought you some clarity on the KAT SD1, and I'm really hoping I've played a little tiny part in preserving its memory and reminding everybody about how significant this mysterious monster is. Cars like these could be lost to time if we're not careful. We really do need to keep an eye on the British motoring heritage and heritage in general of the motoring industry, especially from the golden era of motoring. This car is truly a legend, and I really hope this video has inspired somebody to look into it a bit more, or even get into this weird old car thing, this weird old car hobby that we have, because these are the last moments of the internal combustion engine that we're in now. And the KAT SD1 is just a legend, with little to no information being out there and a lot of people just turning to the internet to get their information. We really had to dig deep for this one, and I want to thank the current owner for providing me with the magazine screenshots and some wonderful people at AR Online and on Facebook as well. You know who you are. I'll pop your name on the screen as a credit for helping me with the Rover Rapide and all the other information that I've got on here. Magazines, they get damaged, they get thrown in the bin, they get ripped. Videotapes, the tape comes out of them, they get damaged, the casing gets broken, you have to wind it all back in, and then it doesn't work. CDs get scratched. Yes, the internet might be not that permanent, to be quite honest with you, but it's the best thing we've got. So I'm hoping that with these videos and with what I do and what all these other brilliant YouTubers do in this sphere, and all these brilliant websites like AR Online, like Under the Radar, I hope we really all do a really good job putting all of this stuff together, and I'm hoping it inspires a few people as well. I want to thank you for all your support. It has been absolutely incredible, the response these videos have gotten, and I really hope it's entertaining, and I really hope you really enjoy it. The KAT SD1, I think we've managed to demystify it enough, and I'm hoping that we get to see it in person, and I'm hoping to bring you that soon. So, thank you again for watching. Keep watching, remember to subscribe for more of this, and I will see you in the next one.